Tim, there is continual talk, as you know, because of the future of college football, and it's been a month since USC and UCLA, and there's posturing going on or whatever else. Nothing seems to be imminent. Do you think there is anything when it comes to realignment or changes that's imminent?
Not now, but I will tell you that there could be some surprises between now and toe-meeting leather. I think there's a very good chance that the Big Ten could do something before the start of the season. And if that does happen, it could trigger other movement. All right. I think everyone's waiting with bated breath to see what Notre Dame is going to do with its rights with negotiations with NBC. And that might be, where this thing tilts. If Notre Dame feels like it can get the revenue that it wants from NBC, then they may well stay as an independent for the time being. They could easily do that. However, if maybe that doesn't go the way they want, then the potential is there that either one of two things could happen. Either they could join the Big Ten, or they could strike some sort of an arrangement with the Big Ten, similar to the one that they currently have with the ACC, where they're not really a conference member, but they guarantee that they'll play conference teams within the Big Ten, a minimum number of, say, 5, for instance. And, of course, as you know, they already play Michigan State. This year they play Ohio State. It wouldn't be a stretch for them to add 2 more games, okay, to become, quote-unquote, in an arrangement with the Big Ten that could satisfy them, but not necessarily be a full-fledged member. Okay, maybe they could get some financial benefit from that. A potential of that being the case to go along with their NBC deal would be there. But I don't think anything will happen, to answer your question specifically, until after Notre Dame makes up its mind, whether it does or it doesn't. If it does, then I think there could be a huge chain reaction. And even if they don't, and the deal is done with NBC, that could dictate what happens with everybody else for the short term, which affects what's left of the Pac-12, what's left of the Big 12, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I think the potential for another trimmer, if you will, is there between now and the start of the season. If it doesn't happen by that time, then I think we'll see things stay the course at least through the regular season. And once we get to this upcoming silly season in 2023, maybe something else will happen as we get closer, because the Pac-12 has to get its deal done first, and the Big 12 comes later. Something to make me think about, fellas, as it relates to Big 12 versus Pac-12 is this. The Pac-12 really can't offer games at noon, okay? Isolated situations where they might do 1 game or 2 games at noon Eastern time, 9 Pacific, might be there on occasion, but very rarely. The Big 12, obviously, other than the Big 10, has more teams in the Central Time Zone, therefore would be much more comfortable playing games at noon, which could be an advantage for the Big 12 Conference as it relates to its time zone. They don't have the same market sizes that the Pac-12 has. That's the advantage that the Pac-12 has. But I think everything that could happen with that, fellas, that impacts either the Pac-12 or the Big 12, all centers around what happens with what's remaining to possibly happen in the Big 10.
Yep.
You have it up. It's there's the graphic, Garrett.